Yeah.
At the bottom of the stairwell, this here door opened up, and it was no stairs. It's just about a 3 or 4 foot drop onto a lawn and weeds and stuff, side of the house. And what I finally just figured it out, and I figured it out for myself, was that's probably where they unloaded furniture for the upstairs. Well, upstairs at the top of the other side was the bathroom. So those stairs was nice long stairs. And what we used to do is get a cardboard box and get on that box and go down those stairs. And boy, was that fun. We'd go shooting out in the air. And, well, it's a wonder it didn't kill one of us. But we had more fun there. And up on the back side of upstairs was my 2 sisters' bedroom. There were big rooms. And I never did go in there, so I don't know if it was just a small room and a lot of attic space or whatever. But on the other side was us boys. We had about 4 beds in there. And, well, I hate to admit this, but I really liked my sisters. They was beautiful.
Why do you hate to admit that?
Yeah, because where I laid in my bed, if I left our door open a crack, after they took a bath, they used to just hop out and dry off and go in their bedroom without any clothes on. And to tell the truth, I only got a couple glimpses of them, but they're the prettiest things. Back then I thought so were nice. Of course, I never saw them naked since. But, okay, I got that off my chest. I'm not proud of it. But anyway, all us boys slept in that bedroom. And it was still a real nice place to live. Now we lived in there until I was in the 3rd grade. No, the 4th grade. Now, people that knows what grade is for what ages, I could probably look it up, but I don't want to bother.
Right.
4th grade of grade school, when my father got tired of the older boys. When they got out of school, they wouldn't come home. They ran the streets and got in trouble with all their buddies. Well, you know it all, what it is. So I can just hear him thinking. So what he did, he bought a 40-acre farm 15 miles south. That was a good 15 or a little more miles from school. And of course, there's a lot of trouble. We had to run them in. They had to see that they all got in to school in time, because they was in high school, you know, they was older. And this here was a farm, was a real nice farm. It must have been owned by an old couple, because it already had all the animals and tools. It had a team of horses. It had pigs and chickens and ducks and turkeys and, well, a big black dog. Well, we got acquainted with the dog, but that was sure, people when they came to visit us and drove in there going, they're scared to get out of the car until we came down and got the dog. But anyway, it had a big red barn with 16 cows, milk cows, a team of horses, big horses, and of course they had chickens and pigs and all that kind of stuff already there. So that's why I figure that they must have bought it off of an old couple that died or retired probably. So the first thing after we moved in, my father took me aside by myself and he says, Duane, I'm going to put you completely in charge of those 16 cows. And I was in 4th grade. And I says, okay, Dad. So I went out that night and milked 16 cows. And by the time I was through milking 16 cows and taking care of the milk, I staggered into the house and went to bed. I was worn out. So I got a hold of Dad, my father, and says, Dad, I need a helper. And he says, okay. And he says, how about your younger brother? I said, oh, that would sure be swell. And my younger brother wasn't quite happy, but he was a game kid.
And which one was that?
It really helped a lot. So, till I was 18 years old, the morning of the 18th day, I never missed a morning milking those cows, or a night mixing those cows by hand.
And what was your younger brother's name?
That's Royal Norman Brown. My 3 brothers' names in order of age going down was Nolan, there was another, and Jerry. Well, I can't think of the other name yet, but I might think of it and let you know later on.
Okay.
Okay, my older brothers was Charles, Ronald, Charles, and Duard. Now when Duard got older, he was killed by the mafia. I mean, he wasn't a gangster, but he was one of the big shots of the biggest electrical union. And the mob was always trying to get him to get money out of him.
Right.
You know. Well, they must have got in a tussle and they shot him. And, oh, by the way, Duard, later on, before he was shot, of course, he was an electrician, a journeyman electrician of the biggest electrical union in the nation. And he was working for the government on where they tested nuclear bombs. And where they tested them was 100 miles south of Las Vegas. Actually, you get out on the road heading north. That road was straight as an arrow. And what he did, he had a big station wagon, and of course he hauled some of the other electricians and workers out, as many as he could. And he'd open that thing up and he'd make real good time going to work. It was 100 miles. And where what the government did was dig a hole in the ground, a big hole, really deep. And that's where they set off the nuclear bombs. But maybe I shouldn't have said that. Well, you won't tell nobody, will you? Okay.
So, yeah.
Let's get back to the house.
Yes.
Okay, we would, and going down those stairs in a box was really fun.
No, we're on the farm now.
Oh, we're on the farm now?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. I didn't, well...
You were milking cows.
Yeah, we're milking cows, and we milked those cows until the morning of when I turned 18, and I never missed a night or that. By then it was the 6th, I think I started milking them when I was in the 5th grade. Because that was just when I graduated from the first 4 days. See, this country school had 2 rooms. The one room had 4 rows of chairs, and the other room had 4 rows of chairs, maybe 10 chairs or 12. The first was the grade 1, 2, 3, 4. The larger grade was 5, 6, 7, 8 grade.
Right.
So I remembered about the time I was only I think I was in the 4th grade when we started milking cows. And I graduated from the 4th grade, and the 2 rooms was connected with the hallway that had a big wide area with bookshelves and stuff where the teachers could put their books and stuff. Well, when we was walking through that area, I saw this here book that says electrical, it was electrical
engineering?
Yeah, Electrical Engineer's Handbook. And so I picked it up and took it in there, and after I was seated and everything, I asked the teacher if, in my first row in that room, if I could check it out and take it home, and yeah. So I took it home, and it wasn't but a couple, 2 or 3 months of time went by, and I'd read in that book about how you could build, in the book describing theory of radios and radio broadcasting stations.
Right.
It described how you could make a crystal set, is what they called it. Little radio, and it wouldn't cost you much of nothing, just a single